What's up everybody, my name is Dwight and welcome back to GeForce Garage. With today's release of the Dark Tower, we thought it would be fitting to bring in David Cathey of Insolent Mods to show off his take of the Gunslinger and the Man in Black. Well, thanks David for coming by.
Yeah, sure.
So we have the Gunslinger one. You got a lot going on these cases. I noticed that almost everything inside of this case is custom.
Yeah, we took it all the way down to nothing but the frame, basically to give me room for everything else and for some decoration on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of decorations, you have a revolver inside of there.
Well, any fan of Stephen King will know that the gunslinger is the lawman of that world. He's one of the few men in that world that carries a gun. So the gun's a very important distinguisher for anyone being a gunslinger. Same with kind of the leather. That world is passed by.
Kind of like a Wild
West.
Right.
And then also the horn. That's a horn that's passed down from his earliest ancestors and is sort of a very special part of the book.
Don't want to spoil it here.
You want to go see the movie to find out.
What are the specs of the PC?
This is a Z170 with an i5 chip, 980 Ti graphics card with 360mm radiator, a couple of SSDs, and an 850 watt power supply.
Speaking of the radiator, you got it front mounted and the reservoir is on the other side of it, actually poking out from the front of the case.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of dress up the front of the case, and plus I managed to put some leather on there to kind of dress it up in that same style.
The top also has a custom piece too with a rose cut out of it. What's the importance of that?
The rose is a very important part of this whole series, so it gets so deep trying to follow along with Stephen King.
Okay, well we'll move along. The back panel is also completely custom. You got your own cutouts back here. Can you go into those at all?
Yes, I can. One of them is Ka, and that is their idea of karma, basically. And then the other one is Roland's family crest. Oh, so I figured I needed some air movement through that spot of the back, and that would be a perfect spot and the perfect thing to put there. So,
can you talk about the theme on the back?
The back is kind of a reflection of the world that they live in. Roland and his friends keep running across this technology that's been decaying for thousands of years, so I tried to give that feel with the dirty wires and frayed cabling and all that that you would get from maybe wandering through a tunnel full of computer parts.
Right. Okay, I think that pretty much covers the Gunslinger. How about we check out the Man in Black?
All right.
Which has just as much detail.
Just as much, probably more.
All right, so right off the bat, I see that there's a lot of similarities. You got a rose up top, you got the reservoir up front, you got the Ka logo in the back, but you got a different insignia up in the other corner.
Yeah, that is the Crimson King's logo. So the Man in Black is the emissary of the Crimson King. He's his hand out in the world to cause trouble. And the Man in Black and the Gunslinger are polar opposites. So that's where we get a lot of the same looks as far as like the rose and the reservoir. You'll notice the actual board and the side of the case is reversed. So
yeah, everything is inverted as well.
Yep.
You got a black and white theme going on in the other one. This one's black and red, down to the liquid in both machines and everything. A lot of similarities too. You got the same finish, which is like a nice textured finish across the whole
sort
PC.
of a rock finish.
The back is the same as well. I guess they're in the same world.
They're total mirrors of each other.
So can you explain the decorations on the inside, the colorful balls in there?
It's called the bins of the rainbow. And basically in their world, there's been a set of magic crystal balls, all shades of the rainbow, and then Black 13, which is the most evil of them all.
And I assume the specs are the same as well?
Yes, dead on the same. The difference would be the color of the RAM, and then the motherboard is an Asus Z170 Aura versus a Pro Gaming.
Right, so for the different colors and everything.
For the different colors, yeah.
I also like the fact that you can see everything in this case too, but it's still covered.
Yeah, these are some cool panels I found from MNPC Tech that basically are clear acrylic with some magnets that stick on and keep everything protected, but let you see the entire build.
Well, thank you, David, for bringing by these awesome PCs. I'm super excited to see the movie, so maybe I can understand some of these references afterwards. If you guys want to see some of the techniques that David used when making these PCs, we're going to be bringing them back to teach us some basic metal fabrication techniques. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you for the next one.